Good morning, friends. This is a mindfulness practice inspired by one of my clients. So I'm simply going to make a cup of coffee. It is Saturday morning, so I have leisure time. I don't have to rush. I don't have work to be getting ready for, so I can take my time to do this. So I know last time I had a pot of boiling water, and I've upgraded to a wonderful water heater because I drink a lot of tea and other things during the day, and I like warm water. So I have this awesome canister too, of which I add herbs if I choose. So I know I'm doing coffee, but I'm actually going to add some licorice root into it because for me, it's good for my stomach, and it adds a little bit of sweetness to it. Pardon my wonkiness while I do this. I'm going to come over and just fill up my water. Not much to that. Just watching the bubbles. Take it back on over. Add my topper. And I'm going to start it and boil. And now we're just going to wait. We're going to do a couple of other things first, obviously. Get the coffee ready. But we're going to wait. I'm not going to go run into 2,000 other things. I'm not going to wash the dishes. Just going to sit here and wait. In our day and age, we feel like we need to be doing 10,000 things at a time to feel accomplished. And a lot of the times, we just benefit from sitting and waiting. What I'm going to do is get my coffee ready, though. I have to find it. Where is it? There we go. So for me, I use a 1 cup a day type of thing. And I just have my little filter here. And simplest thing, just made of paper. And I'm going to take my coffee. Don't judge me for it. I'm going to smell it. I'm going to sit and smell it. And just take some deep breaths in. And just smell it. It smells magnificent. I feel like even people who don't drink coffee can appreciate the smell of coffee because it's just makes you feel fresh and ready for the day. And now think of where your coffee came from. Think of where the product came from, how far it's traveled, what it took to be into these little granules. And they're starting from coffee beans that grew from the ground, and then were picked off and ground up, and then packaged and sent to you. All of that work, just so you can have a lovely cup of coffee. I'm also going to add a little of this flavored coffee, French vanilla. Because I'm one of those people who like sugar and milk, not black coffee. I'm just going to sit and watch it. This one's really cool because it turns into like a kind of like a little tornado slash whirlpool in there. Just need to get my mug out. And we're just going to sit and watch. Now, at this point, the majority of you are probably thinking of all the things that you have to get done today. Shopping list, or going out, or doing things, or things you want to get done around the house. Stop that. We literally cannot do any of those things right now because all we're doing is waiting for the water to boil. And we've probably thought of those things a million times already, because what our mind does is our mind continuously makes a list of things that needs to be done. And it feels the need to remind us of those 24,000 times when we don't. The majority of the time, if there's a project or something that needs to get done, we're going to remember it. We're not going to forget it. We don't need to think about it 10,000 times. So try to push all of those thoughts away. Push the thoughts of what you want to do today, or what you wish you did yesterday, or did last week, or didn't do last week, and just focus. So for me, I've added the licorice into the tea, into the water. So the water is a little discolored. So that's something to notice, the colors. I also have wonderful under-counter lighting, as I'm sure you've noticed, which changes colors. So I can notice the colors. The orange changing to green, changing to teal, changing to blue, to purple. I'm just sitting and noticing. I can listen to the sound of the water boiling, starting to heat up. I can see the little bubbles in the bottom, just waiting for that heat to rise. Just a little bit more so they can be free and swim around. The mug I'm choosing for today, because it's important to have, in my mind, mugs that we really like. I have a special mug that changes constellations, so right now it's stars. So I'm going to put some sugar in. And again, we wait. And again, I'm sure your mind is automatically going to that list of things you have to do today. Or the shopping list. Or the things you wish you did yesterday different, last week. Stop that. Literally tell your mind, stop. I don't need to be thinking about those things. Right now, in this moment, all I'm doing is waiting for my delicious cup of coffee. Waiting for the water to boil. Luckily, I said it's Saturday, so I have time to sit and watch it boil. On work days, it's a little different. You might put the water on to boil and come back. But for today, we just get to watch. Now that it's been about 10 minutes, some of you might feel antsy and think it's boring. This is why we practice mindfulness, because so many times we're used to moving and doing 10,000 things at once that just sitting and watching can be really hard to do. But again, it's the same thing as if you practice yoga, practice meditation, or even just exercising. It's something the more you do, the more you're able to do, and the more you're able to relax and do. Because we want you working towards just feeling calm and relaxed in this moment. Enjoying the anticipation of your first cup of coffee for the day, or if this is midday, your mid-cup of coffee. It's going to help you get through the rest of the day. And just simply watching the bubbles. Now my machine tells me right now it's 177 degrees, which is pretty nuts, huh? Think about how hot that water needs to get in order to boil, to create all those wonderful little bubbles that are starting to escape and dance. To get the water hot enough to go through the coffee and give you a nice strong cup of coffee. And what do you like to do while you're drinking your coffee? Do you like to sit and look out the window? Are you sitting with somebody you care for? Are you just sitting enjoying the flavor? We're just waiting. Watching and waiting. See the foam bubbles on top? It's because I've added the licorice in. Kind of a calming sound. It sounds like one of those sound machines or the ocean. And then we crash down. That's okay too. Sometimes crashing happens in life. And all we do is pick ourselves up and wait. All those tiny little bubbles flying around. Okay, now that our water's boiling, I take my cup, put it on top, and just pour. So for you, if you have a coffee pot, it's different. For me, I think this is a really cool part because I like to try to capture all the little coffee grains. So it's a little bit of a game. All poofed out. And then just enough to the top that it doesn't overflow. So I kind of make it into a challenge. And then just listening to the sound and smelling again, that fragrant smell. That's another reason I like this style, is because the aroma is magnificent. A little bit more. Again, we're just waiting. But we have a choice. We can wait in frustration or impatience, or we can wait patiently and in anticipation for this awesome cup of coffee. Look at that cool little drip too. It's like it's raining in my cup. Oh, and what's extra cool about my cup, that's why I chose this one, is before you saw the stars, but as it gets heated up, it turns into the constellations. Now, one of my favorite parts is the fun of adding milk. Make sure I don't open a new milk without finishing the other one. Wait for it. Turn the lights off. I made a rather strong cup of coffee this time. There it is. That is one of my favorite parts, is adding the milk into the coffee and just watching the clouds as they spin around. I'm not gonna lie, totally overfilled the cup a bit. But just playing with the little clouds. And of course, enjoying your cup of coffee. So that was 18 minutes of mindful time of just doing one task at a time, not doing 10,000 things, and just enjoying the step-by-step of making a simple cup of coffee. I hope you enjoy your cup of coffee. Be well.